Hi ladies and gents, Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. Thank you so much for your previous likes, comments and subscriptions to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, why not click on that button and ring the bell so you can get notifications of whenever I'm dropping content on the channel. And now onto the topic of this video, and I'm very pleased to bring you, for the first time in 9 months, my first best combinations video. So back in December, January time, I did best combinations for Footman, Archers, Cavalry and of course mixed legions. And I'm going to be doing all four again in the coming week or so, and we're going to start off with Footmen. Footmen, now, obviously Footmen are kind of, I would say, probably ranked third out of the 3 different troop types. You are going to use them in various combinations for mixed legions, for those of you that do have Dragon Master gear. For those of you that don't, you've just got normal gear. Footmen are going to have less of an importance, Footman heroes, because just these legions just seem to be overpowered by both cavalry and, more importantly as well, archers, who Footmen are supposed to counter archers. So now you've got more powerful heroes like Spectral Reaper, Warden coming into the game. It is making it difficult for Footman heroes to actually have a purpose. I do like the idea of always having a Footman legion in your in one of the 5 legions, just so you do have that counter if someone did attack you with an archers only legion. But in terms of practicality, you're most likely going to use Footmen in Eden now for taking tiles, or of course hitting structures, because they have that higher demolition value. So let's have a look. I don't want to dwell on the lower levels too much. Obviously I covered heroes up to around SX1 or 2, I think, back in January or February. So we want to be kind of looking at the most up-to-date combinations. So let's have a look at the combination sheet. And first of course, a big shout out to Don Pablon in State 96 from L96, who puts together these documents. He also runs the Rise of Empires Reddit group, which you can see the links are on the screen here, so please do check out and join that group. There's about 2,500 members. Lots of great resources for Rise of Empires in that group. All the kind of charts and stuff that I use on the channel, they come from there, and Don Pablone puts them together. Also Barber for doing a lot of the testing. Barber from State 25, he's done a lot of the testing for this, so thank you both to you guys. I will put the in the video description, I will put the direct link to the Reddit group in there as well too, guys. So let's go into these combinations. Now again, as it states on the document, a lot of these combinations are actually put together from the heroes from LSS, Last Stage Shelter Survival, because they do kind of run about 6 months ahead of us in Rise of Empire. So Last Shelter is our like sister game, but it did start before Rise of Empires. So sometimes the combinations and the way the heroes interact don't directly migrate into Rise of Empires exactly. There can be some differences there, but let's have a look at what we've got on the guide. So first off, you can see we've got S2 Peacebringer or S4 Soaring Hawk, with then either a combination of Bleeding Steed and Skanda, and then just one of the back row heroes, basically either Jade Rexhusser from S2, Desert Storm from S4, or Valkyrie from SX3. These are kind of pretty basic combinations for you there. Soaring Hawk, I actually prefer Peacebringer over Soaring Hawk, as I've said before. And then Skanda and Bleeding Steed are both top Footman heroes, doing a lot of healing, support. Steed's obviously got his confusion skill. So that's a pretty basic combination for you there, but for those of you that are looking to maybe put together 4 Footman legions for hitting structures, this is going to give you an idea of some of the different combinations you could do and have an effective legion who aren't going to lose you too many troops. Then up we've got SX5 the Liberator, then with again either Steed or Skanda, and then Jade or Iron Hand. Interestingly, of course, Iron Hand is useful in Eden because he is one of these 3 ranged S1 heroes who have the active 7th skills, where you will get that 100% boost to marching speed. Obviously, if you've got Footmen, that's a real big plus. I have got Iron Hand maxed. I still keep him in my account, and I do use him for structure hits. If we're taking like a big level 4 town or capital or the ancient temple, I will activate his 7th skill. It's going to basically halve the marching time effectively. So it's a really, really good skill to have, and I would suggest for those of you even later in the game, Iron Hand is a good hero to have hanging around. I do even have Jade maxed as well, just from earlier seasons. So, you know, Liberator, this isn't quite highly ranked because Liberator's 5th skill, I think it is, or 8th skill, is going to, let's have a look actually quickly, is going to give you healing from round 4 onwards. Pretty sure it says, yeah, 8th row. So when the hero is in the front row for the first 3 rounds, all allied squads take 20% less damage. But then starting from the 4th round, 40% of the damage your back row squad deals will be converted into front row troops. So it's a healing skill. Liberator also gives your back row clarity, protects them from being CC crowd controlled as well. So of course, Jade and Iron Hand being earlier in the game, they do less damage. So effectively their synergy with Liberator isn't so strong because they're not actually going to do that much damage, which means that Liberator isn't going to recover that many troops, which is why this is still quite far down in the combination. Then we've got Datch SX2. He has a lot of different mixed skills. He does troop recovery block. He debuffs your opponent's squads. He gives a slight buff to your squads. He does have extra HP and resistance, so he can be effective in the front row. He's quite tanky. Then again, you're going to see Skanda in a lot of these combinations. Skanda just obviously does that huge amount of healing. Also can do suppress the opponent, and then has the helps protect that front row hero with the evasion skill on route turns 5 and 6 with their skills. So Skanda is again a hero you're just going to see a lot in these combinations. Here we go. So skill 2, 50% chance to heal self and front row squad, 240%, 47% recovery rate if in the front row, double heal, which is absolutely huge. 70% chance to deal 260% damage to the furthest enemy within range and suppress for 1 turn. 70% chance of suppression, really, really good. And then this 8th skill on turn 5, remove any friendly front row debuffs, and when it takes damage, 100% chance to dodge and immune to this damage for 2 turns. So Skanda is a very, very good hero as well. You can see in this combo again, bleeding. If you want to go defensive, you can put Bleeding Steed on the back row, and then you're going to have a lot of healing from Skanda and Steed. And then also, obviously, all 3 of those heroes are quite tanky. If you want to go attacking, then Scarlet Reaver does the best amount of damage for any of the Footman heroes. Next up, we have got a combination which has either Bleeding Steed on the front row or Liberator. And then we have, now on this it says Prophet. Prophet is actually the name of the SX8 hero in LSS. So in Rise of Empires, of course, you probably would have seen last week, Prophet's name finally got changed to Fortuneteller. So it's that design, but with the name Fortuneteller, who is, and as I say, she is the SX8 hero. So states 1 to 136 have her at the moment. And then these heroes are then linked with Scarlet Reaver again for attacking legions, so she does all that damage, or you can go with Skanda. So Scarlet Reaver would do better with Liberator because she's going to do damage, which means that Liberator will heal more. Skanda does less damage. I wouldn't really want to put Skanda with Liberator, in my opinion. So it would either be Steed, Fortuneteller, Skanda, or Liberator, Fortuneteller, Reaver for those combinations. Let's just have a very quick look at Fortuneteller as the new SX8 hero. So her second skill marks 1 random enemy squad and reduces their troop recovery by 70%. Then afflicts a debuff depending on the troop type of that squad. So if it's Footmen, then all enemy squads take more damage. If it's cavalry, they take they'll do less normal attack damage, which it would definitely is going to counter kind of combinations that have got Ranger in or Immortal in. Archers is going to reduce that skill damage, so again that's going to counter Jade Eagle and to a point Spectral Reaper, but a lot of Spectral Reaper's damage does come from basic attacks, so it's not so effective against Spectral Reaper. So that's quite nice, a nice combination. Then 50% chance to link 1 random enemy squad with the marked squads for 2 turns. When either squad takes damage, the other squad will take 50% of that damage. So you could be seeing Scarlet Reaver doing a lot of damage, and then another of the squads in your opponent's Legion is going to be taking 50% of that damage. She does have extra damage for her 6th skill, but then she gives extra resistance. So it's kind of interesting. Fortuneteller is quite a balanced hero. And then her 8th skill is the Game 1 charge. Each time any friendly squad casts a combat skill, once 6 charges are accumulated, she will deal 750% damage to the marked squad and suppress them for 1 turn. And obviously this is based on, you need heroes to do combat skills. So putting her with Scarlet Reaver is good, because Scarlet Reaver's second and fifth skills are both combat skills, and this is 100% chance on the second skill, and then pretty good 40% chance on the 5th skill. So she's going to get off quite a lot of combat skills. And then who else is going to be paired here? Potentially Bleeding Steed, actually. So with Steed, I think he's got quite a few, prep skill. There you go. Skill 2, skill 5 is a combat skill. You're not going to get a lot from him, actually. So she probably works synergizes a little bit better with Liberator, maybe. Just he's got that slightly higher percentage. Don't know. I think I'm really being a bit nitpicky there. Next combination up, we have got Scarlet Reaver on the front row, then with Fortuneteller middle row, and then Dawn, who is actually an SX10 hero. So this combination does combine all the way up to SX10. In LSS, they've actually just had the SX11 heroes released, so they're nearly 3 whole seasons ahead of us. But yeah, Dawn is also we're going to be probably getting her released into the game for us, maybe in February, March time, 22. So it's going to be a while until we can kind of look at her and see how she's working. So we'll go on to the next combination, which is Liberator, Skanda, and then a mixture of any of the kind of back row heroes that will do a lot of damage, as I've already talked about. So preferably Scarlet Reaver is going to be the best option, then Valkyrie, and then Desert Storm. Obviously and you're going to get an awful lot of healing from Skanda and then the Liberator from turn 4. So that's going to be if you put Skanda and Liberator together, it's really hard to break that combination down. Next up then we've got Reaver again with Dawn, the SX10 hero, and Skanda. I'm guessing that's going to be more of a defensive combination with those, as you've got Skanda in there. And then we've got our top 2 combinations. So we've got Bleeding Steed with Fortuneteller, then with Scarlet Reaver or Desert Storm, and Skanda. So let's have a look at Desert Storm. Actually, it's one of the few heroes I don't have him in my main, as you'll see. I'm gonna probably try recruiting, using S4 tickets from now on to try and get more S4 heroes, just to add them into my account. His second skill is prep. 5th skill is prep, but this. Okay, so his 8th skill is combat, and it's 100% chance. So you've got 8 combat skills almost guaranteed, as long as he's not being silenced or suppressed in the battle. So maybe that's why you would put him with Fortuneteller, and then you've got Skanda again going in there. So there would be a lot of healing going on, quite defensive. It's going to be pretty good, but I mean, I haven't seen Fortuneteller in action yet, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Then we do have, as the best Footman only combination right now, we've got Liberator with Bleeding Steed, of course, and then if you want to go defensive, you're going to go with Skanda, and if you want to go attacking, you're going to go with Scarlet Reaver, as I've kind of discussed the reasons why you're going to want to do that, guys. So those are all the kind of top Footman combinations at the moment. I've kind of touched on where you might want to use other heroes as well that don't really feature prominently. You can tell by now, now we're into SX8, you are not seeing S1 heroes, you're not seeing Peacebringer even. It's all about, for the front row heroes, it's all about Bleeding Steed, Liberator, or Skanda pretty much in every combination, even though Dash does appear in that one. And then you're just seeing combinations of Bleeding Steed Skanda, Scarlet Reaver really in a lot of these combinations. So for me, I would say they're really, really key Footman heroes for you guys. That's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do pop your comments in the section down below. Maybe I've missed off some combinations, but don't forget, obviously I do have my video from back in January where I covered a lot of the combinations from earlier in the game. I'll also link that in the video description for those of you that are newer to the game. If you have your own thoughts on good Footman heroes that aren't covered in this document, then please do, of course, add your comments here, and why not contribute to the Rise of Empires Reddit community as well. As I say, that link is also in the description. And why not tell me what you think your favourite Footman hero combination is. I'd be interested to see if people do have differing opinions on these combinations. Of course, if you please share this video and my channel in your alliance chat, province chat, and of course for those of you that are in Eden through your guild chats and your Eden map chats, that would be very much appreciated. And if you use Line, WhatsApp, Viber, Discord, any other form of communication with fellow players in the game, just a share of the channel or this video would be very much appreciated. That's everything for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.